What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yak Nasty 2025, guys. And of course I had to come in fashionably late to the party. I tend to spend the beginning part of the year just doing some self-reflection, meditating type of deal, planning for the year to come, okay? And hopefully those plans work out, right? So we got some tournament schedule stuff going on. We got a whole mess of ideas and plans for 2025, guys. So, hey, if you love fishing and you fish as much as I do, hit that like, hit subscribe. It'll definitely help out the channel. We're pushing 500 subscribers, guys, and I think 2025 we're gonna aim to be a YouTube partner. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. It's not a guess. It's not a hope. We're gonna do it. So with you guys' help out there, we can make that happen, guys. So I really appreciate it, and hopefully you leave a comment down below telling me something you like about the video, something you don't like. I don't know. Tell me what you do in the wintertime when you're fishing. I don't know. Anything. You know, hand warmers, special hats. Maybe you got some electric draws on. Hey, anything's possible, right? It's 2025, guys. So welcome to the party. Alright, so I wanted this video to be a little bit different, but not so much different, right? As you can see, I am wearing, yes, the House of Coffee hat, okay? It's a place I like to go, and me and the wife, we go there pretty much every Saturday morning to get us a hot cup of coffee. I get the mocha latte most of the time. I don't really stray. I don't do a whole lot of different stuff, but the wife tries pretty much every coffee they have. She loves them just as much as I do. So, yeah, if you're in the area, Dover, Delaware, guys, stop by the House of Coffee. I'm not sponsored. They don't even know I'm mentioning them in the video. So, yeah, stop on by. Check them out. Great coffee if you love coffee. All right. I want to shout out my local businesses this year, okay? The small family-owned businesses, I think they deserve a good look, and I don't have to be sponsored to tell you the places I go and the people I give my money to, because they appreciate me and they treat me how I like to be treated, guys. So with that being said, pretty much every video I'm going to try to shout out a local business. And if you are local and you are a business, man, put your stuff down in the comments. Send me a private message, and I'll give you guys a mention. And if I haven't used your product, I'm probably going to use your product first, then mention you. So, hey, it's an opportunity for everybody to grow 2025, guys. So the main subject matter of this video is looking back into 2024. I'm not going to do a whole lot of clip art. Not doing all that. Not this particular video. I really just want to talk about the year. And so far you guys have not seen the classic as of this video being put out. It is being edited. That is my first 2-day tournament, guys, and it is the last tournament of the year. And man, if you check out my tournaments and then you check out this classic, you will see the growth and the production. It was fun. It's awesome. And man, I can't wait till you guys see it. So, you know, stay tuned. That is coming. But the River Runners annual classic tournament, yes, down Pocomoke. Alright, tournament 6 was there as well, and you guys are getting ready to see that coming up within the next week. Alright, guys, so that first trip down was awesome, but the classic, whew, man, almost looked like I knew what I was doing, guys. And let me get a shout out. Yes, okay, River Runners Bass Club, it's what we do. It's who we are. We get out there and we go get them. or at least try if you watch some of my tournament stuff. But I'm not going to talk bad about myself, guys. So, with that being said, 2024, very awesome year. I have 2 more citation bass I got to hang up on the wall. I got frames on the way. Yeah, guys, cold weather is the best time to catch some biggins. You can catch them all year round, but when that fall to winter transition comes in, guys, and even into wintertime, you have a great chance of catching a big fish. Alright, guys, catch a PB out there. You just got to brave the cold. Sometimes it sucks. Most of the time, it sucks. If you get down like me, that cold, sit out there for 8 hours. Oh my gosh, man. It'll do something to you. But we keep doing it. We keep going out. We keep fishing because we love this sport, guys. So, yeah, we got 2 more fish to go on the wall. Oh my goodness gracious. They were fun. They were monsters. Awesome fish to catch. Alright, guys. And I want to talk about a couple ways, tips and techniques to catch those fish right now. Okay, because everyone's talking about the jig head minnow, moping, scoping, all that junk, all that jazz. Hey man, you don't need a scope to do it. You don't. You really don't. You don't need any of that extra stuff. Alright? You don't. Okay, so if you're just getting into fishing, you need to know that. You don't need all that extra jazz. Okay, get out there, get your minnow, get your jig head, and throw it out there. And one variation that I love to use in the wintertime, it works all year round, but in the wintertime to be different because everyone is throwing the same jig head minnow everywhere you go right now, man, I get this right here. Yep, this thing right here. It's a little willow bladed jig head made by Z-Man. This one's a little beat up and rusty. I think I left it outside on the boat, but it's all good. It's got a chatterbait feel to it with a willow blade. Very subtle vibration, very smooth. I actually caught a 5-pounder on this thing in the middle of wintertime. It does the trick. Now, you're not going to be reeling fast, alright? You're going to go pretty slow with it, alright? You want to reel that thing up or even just bring that rod up, guys, and let it pendulum. Alright? That's all you're doing. Let that thing pendulum down, and then you bring it back up and let it pendulum. This technique is a very awesome technique. Very comparable to the jig-headed minnow, but it has that difference, alright? It has a little bit of flash if you need it, alright? It has just that little bit of vibration, so when you bring it up, it's going to vibrate almost like a lipless, which works very well this time of year. You just bring that thing up, it's going to vibrate a little bit, and then you just let it pendulum down. And as it's penduluming, yeah. So, as it's doing its pendulum thing, okay, you're going to get some of that flash off this blade, okay? You're going to get some. And that is the difference in getting bit or not getting bit, okay, guys? So, man, this technique's pretty awesome. I normally put a Kitech on it or a Saucy Swimmer, something like that. Even the Crest City Mayor works fantastic with this technique, guys. So go check it out. It's a little jig head with the willow blade on it. You know, check them out. Go to zman.com. You can find it. It's right there. And man, that right there is a difference from what everyone else is throwing. Alright, guys? First technique right off, because everyone's like jig head minnow. Yeah, that works. But if you do something just a little bit different, you can elicit that bite. Maybe a little bit more bites, okay, because you're not going to get a whole lot of bites in the winter unless you're on a fish farm, but you could possibly get 1 or 2, maybe 3 extra bites throughout your fishing day, alright, because they've seen everything else, alright, guys. Another technique that I really like to use all year long, If you've been here, you've heard me talk about it before. The Yum Dinger. Okay? Now, you can keep it just like this. Alright? Texas rig, Carolina rig, right on the bottom, bringing it slow. Alright? This is the watermelon with the pearl on it. The Yum Dinger is a pretty unique bait. Alright? Because one thing you can do with this thumping dinger is what it's really called. Alright? The Yum Dinger is a stick bait, and then the thumping dinger has the grub style tail to it. One thing you can do right out the gate, if you want a smaller profile, take your scissors, chop it down. Alright? So, you can take this, you can put it on a small jig head. Alright? Let that thing scurry on down. You throw it out there, just let it fall. Okay? This tail's going to do its own thing. Alright? You don't want a whole lot of action, so you're using a very lightweight jig head. You're going to use a spinning reel. Okay? Rod combo. Right? You're going to use a spinning rod. And you're going to throw this thing out there. Get it out there. Let it sink. You can do the pendulum action, or you can crawl it right across the bottom, and that tail, as it's coming across the bottom, is going to move very subtle. Alright? It's going to be a very subtle movement because you're slowly reeling it across the bottom. Then you bring it up, you let it pendulum, give it that, little bit different action down there, guys, and you're going to get bit. Okay? This thing is awesome. Okay? Very awesome. You can use the whole worm. You can even break it down like this. Look at that teeny wacky rig setup. I mean, one bait, I just turned it into two baits just that fast, guys. And this smaller profile, believe it or not, really gets big fish biting. Alright? It's an easy meal. It's just coming across their face. They don't have to work at it. They could just suck it in. You know how they, suck their food in. It's gone. Just that easy for them. They don't have to use a whole lot of energy, you know what I mean, to get that fish, get that bait, to get that whatever they think they're getting. Okay, guys? So, hey, check it out. Get you a thumping dinger. Okay? This right here on the jig head does the trick, guys. I'm telling you, a whole lot of stuff is out there on the market. You don't need to work real hard at the basics, because at the end of the day, these fish, they're still wired to do what they're going to do. So you don't need a whole lot of extra stuff. Fish eat other fish. Fish eat worms. What other little crustaceans are down there? Bugs, okay? This is what they do naturally. All you're going to do is keep it simple. Keep it simple. Looks like a teeny bait fish, right? Piece of cake. Piece of cake right there, guys. So I love that technique all year long. I use it all year long, especially on those tougher days and you just want to get a bite. Get that smaller. Cut that thing down. Get that smaller profile. You probably, want to catch a couple other different species when you're dealing with a bait that small as well, depending on your fishery. But bass fishing, you're going to get bit, guys. Trust me, right? And another thing about wintertime fishing, cold water fishing, especially after the solstice, especially after the wintertime solstice, the peak of the wintertime right there, that midpoint. Yeah, right after that, guys, that next full moon phase, I don't know why, I don't know how, but it's just an awesome time to go fishing if you can get out on the water. I haven't been able to get out in the last 3 weeks. We've been locked out, okay? Everything is icy. Can't get in the water. So, of course, I'm going through withdrawals, guys. I'm having problems. I need some help. I'm going through withdrawals. Now, another bait that I'm going to talk about, and everybody knows about this particular bait, but after the winter solstice, yeah, you know what I mean. So, after that midpoint of wintertime, that peak, right? And we're coming into January, February, March, guys. That's when I really like to ramp up my jerkbait use, right? I don't really throw a jerkbait a whole lot November, December, even though it's a very good bait to throw all year long. Those months also shine because that water starts to get cold and it looks like a dying bait fish who can't adjust to the temperature, can't adapt to the cold. Okay, guys? And some of these bait fish, if that water gets cold too fast, they'll have a die-off, okay? They'll start dying. They can't handle that cold temperature hitting them at that rapid pace, guys. So keep that in mind. The jerkbait is very good the very beginning of winter as well, okay? But I like to use it toward the back end, especially after you get that ice off the water, okay? That's when I really like to throw it, because when that ice comes off the water and then you throw those jerkbaits out there, it has a similar effect than the beginning of winter, and those bait fish start to die off and things like that. Well, that's when I start throwing the jerkbaits, guys. This is a deep diver. It's a very awesome bait. If you have deeper waters, I tend to throw this if I have about 15 foot of water, 10 foot of water. It'll work in those, and this is a slow rising bait, okay, guys? So there's a time and there's a place. So this one has the rattles. All right, it's a slow rising jerkbait. All right, there's a time and a place to use a slow rising jerkbait, and I do like to use it after the ice melts off the water. Okay, so soon as I'm able to get back out on the water, this is a bait that I'm throwing. All right, that's slow rising bait. That water's warming up. It almost emulates that dying bait fish, kind of just, you know, trying to live, and then it just sits there for 10 seconds, kind of slowly rising. All right, guys, and putting off a little bit of flicker and flash, right? It works, guys. And your natural colors right here. This one's from Bait Labs. This here is a floating jerkbait, all right, by Bait Labs. This thing comes in handy normally in the warmer weathers. All right, so once we start to get those warmer temperatures and those fish are starting to sit closer to the surface of the water, guys, this guy shines. All right, okay, so a floating jerkbait or high rising, all right, it's a fast rising, fast floating jerkbait, comes in handy when that weather starts to change up. When you get to about 50 degrees, that's when you really want to throw this thing, and you will get some awesome strikes on this thing. And sometimes, if it makes it to the surface, you will see that fish attack, and man, that's a great feeling when you see some top water action, guys. Man, that's one of the best feelings in fishing, when you get to see that fish attack. All right, trust me, man. Another jerk bait that I really like to use, and I use it in bodies of water that have smaller bait fish. Okay, so I make that profile a little smaller, and you get bit. Okay, guys, and this here is the Rapala. That's the ripstop. Okay, and it has a very unique design to it, where that tail has that little bit of resistance. Okay, so this thing does not travel as far as other jerk baits. It will stop. Okay, so you can jerk this in place, and I'm in the middle of changing some hooks out here, but you can change this thing right in place, or you can work this bait right in place, and guys, you can get bit. So I have a few of these, and you can tell I use this. I used it just before the ice came on the water, and yeah, so changing the hooks out because I left it on the boat and the hooks got rusty, so got to switch those things out. And the ripstop is a very awesome profile. It's very small, okay? It resembles those dying minnows and those smaller shad. It's just a phenomenal bait, man. This thing, look at it, it's got the bite marks all on it. And you see, I don't know if you guys can see the nicks and scratches on this guy, but yeah, he's been attacked quite a few times, right? So that's what you want, okay? But see, it's also got a little rattle to it, all right? So these fish, they can get conditioned to the rattles, being as though that those fish can be conditioned, right, to the rattles, to the noise, right? Get a silent jerkbait. Lucky Craft has a few of them. Oh my gosh, look at the bite marks on that guy. All right, get you a silent, yeah, silent jerkbait. All right, because it still makes some noise. It still gives off vibration when you're ripping it, but it doesn't have the rattles. All right, guys. So get you a silent jerkbait. All right, guys. It'll throw them off. You throw that thing up in there, they don't hear it coming. All right, so it just pops up on them, or they see it coming, depending on the clarity of the water, and they will go attack that dying bait fish. All right, guys. So you can switch it up, do something different. Get a silent jerkbait, guys. It's awesome. All right, and another awesome bait, the Stacy 80 right here. Yeah, another Lucky Craft. This is a deeper diving jerkbait. Very well in clear water. As you can see, it is very translucent. Look at that. Man, this thing makes a lot of noise, gets a lot of attention in that clear water, and it dives deeper. So if you're in one of those bigger reservoirs, you know, and you got those cliffs, right? Yeah, guys, throw this thing at those ledges. Throw those things at those drop-offs right here. Look at this thing. If you got that deeper water, clear water, this will get bit. All right, guys. So yeah, a jerk bait is the staple, right, in the wintertime, and everybody talks about it. It's true. It's true. It's just a few different jerk baits for you to think about, right? So you have loud sound, you have no sound, and then you got some that are just, you know, a little bit of sound, right? So you want to mix it up. You want to see what those fish are keying in on, and yeah, then give it to them. Give it to them, right? I want to hear everybody just say, hook up, all 2025. Hook up, get him, bring him in the boat. Yes, guys. So, you know, hey, wintertime, cold water fishing, guys. That's what we got. 2024, awesome year. I want to say is my best year so far fishing on YouTube, as far as the size fish that I was catching. We caught our first snakehead 2024, guys. We caught a whole lot of fish 2024. So we're going to get back at it in 2025. And then I also want to do some backwater stuff. So stay tuned, guys. Stick around. Hit that like. Hit subscribe, because the fun's just getting started. And once again, if you're in the area, stop at the House of Coffee. Get some coffee before you get out there on the water, and you will be surprised when you are highly caffeinated, the things you pay attention to on the water. Yeah, man, you're almost looking through the water at certain points. Probably shouldn't have that extra espresso in the coffee. Yeah, guys. So with all that being said, guys, leave a comment down below. What do you fish with in the wintertime when it's cold outside, cold water? What are you fishing with? What baits do you use? How do you use them? I don't know. Let me know down in the comment, guys. I'm learning something new every day. So maybe you could teach me what's happening. Alright, guys? So, with that all being said, thanks for watching the video. Tight lines and all that good stuff everybody says. Peace.